So one of the things that people always assume when you leave the church is that you left because you wanted to be lascivious, that you wanted to live in sin, that you want to be debaucherous lifestyle. When the reality is, I could have stayed in church if I wanted to do that. Since youth group era, some of the places to get the easiest access to alcohol, drinks, and pumps is in the four walls of the church. The things that would go down in lock-ins should be studied. And to this day, when you get in as an adult, the amount of marriages that are being destroyed because people want to take each other down, the amount of house parties with creative teams that are just drunken filled moments of psychological destruction should be studied. And then another assumption is that we're miserable. There's this assumption that those of us who leave the church, that there's no happiness to be found outside the church. And let me tell you this, I found my happiness and my salvation when I left. I found sobriety when I left. I found mental and emotional peace when I left. And then there's this also assumption that those of us who've left the church, we left it because we experienced church hurt, that we had a pastor who was mean to us, or we got our feelings hurt, or someone did something wrong. The reality is the Bible already promises that that your fellow Christians may be dicks sometimes. So that's not really what the problem is. The problem a lot of the times is that you begin to read the Bible and then you begin to learn that the character of the people doing bad things and the character of how God is depicted in his own text are not that dissimilar. And in order for you not to see that, you have to read the Bible through a modern American lens that views everything he does through this sanitized flower child, Jesus movement perspective. Okay. Right. So, and then a lot of us left because the texts just weren't making sense, or we left because we got a better appreciation of the text, but the way it was being taught in the church was saying things that the text was not designed to say. So all that I'm saying is, instead of having these high-minded, condescending opinions about people who are leaving the church, have a conversation with people who leave. And maybe you'll learn something.